Hey, it's Kaufman is Alive. I look at comic books new and old. Today I'm looking at a new comic book, King Spawn, issue number 50 here. I got the Todd McFarlane cover with this awesome 50 that Spawn is holding here, all of his powers coming out of it. Todd McFarlane really hasn't lost a step with his artwork, although he's not doing the interiors on this issue. He hardly ever does interiors anymore other than just a page here or there. But he is doing the script on this story. Roy McConville is on the plot. And we've got two artists here. Carlo Barberi is doing the first story. And then Steven Segovia from The Scorched is doing the second story in here. And we got Ivan Nunez doing the colors. As you can see, there's a bunch of different covers as well. I've been seeing a lot of the blank sketch covers. Todd McFarlane's been sending a 1 out of 1,000 variant to all the comic book shops where he's drawing his own unique sketch on some of the blank covers and sending those to the stores. I've been seeing some of those, some pretty cool stuff. Again, I just love Todd's work. He's got such fine, detailed lines in everything that he does. There's really very few like him anymore. We got Carlo Barberi doing the first story, like I mentioned. He always has these weird opening splash pages on his work that it's almost kind of hard to make out some of the perspective. I swear I've seen splash pages of his like this before where it almost looks like there's a giant hand coming down to like pick Spawn up, which is what I thought was actually happening here. But this is actually just Spawn's... It's actually just the hand of Cygor there. So thankfully for me, everything that this issue is talking about is just things that have happened recently in Spawn and The Scorched. So this book seems to just be following up everything that's been coming out of Scorch and Spawn, which are the only two Spawn books that I've been reading, so that's good. But the team, as usual, everybody's just kind of not getting along. They're wondering if they should just go by what Spawn says and trust what he's talking about. Medieval's kind of warning Spawn not to annoy everybody because he could need their help in the future. Todd's writing is not very good, to be honest with you. It's very, very stiff. He doesn't really give any characters any sort of voice. Everyone just kind of sounds the same. And all the dialogue in here is just people going, well, should we do this? Should we do that? Should we trust him? Should we not trust him? It's just, there's not really any characterization going on here. I feel like a lot of the time in Spawn, it's just a lot of plot and plot devices and action. So a lot of this dialogue isn't too interesting. We've got Terry Fitzgerald here, who's kind of the main character of the King Spawn books, I guess, along with Spawn, obviously. But so we're kind of following him throughout this first story. He starts talking to Mark Rosen, who is the alter ego of Medieval Spawn. So we just kind of relearn his origin, which we sort of already knew. And Mark's learning about Terry's origin. He's learning that Wanda was Terry's wife and all this stuff. So a lot of stuff that we already knew. But then Mark says that him and Terry and the other members of the team are going to go meet at the docks later that night, and he'll give him the coordinates, gives him the thumbs up. Then we go to Spawn, and he's interrogating this vampire here, and the vampire's warning him that something bigger is coming. And then as Mark is heading towards the rendezvous spot, he gets intercepted by this guy with these glowing eyes. He says, I know you, and I need you to come with me. Mark tells him to fuck off. He says, I'd watch myself, Mark, or should I say Medieval Spawn? And then he gives Mark the Medieval Spawn helmet. And then Mark just goes flying and he wakes up hours later and it says, not realizing the others were also collected along with him. And then we see Terry waiting at the docks, waiting underneath the bridge here. And no one is meeting him. He's saying, Mark, where the hell are you? Give me a call. So then we get to the next chapter here. This is where Steven Segovia takes over the artwork. We just see this couple making dinner, and then suddenly her boyfriend just disappears, but then he shows back up and he's all quiet, and then he rips open his own chest here to reveal the Plague Spawn. Awesome splash page there. We see this giant hulking like plague spawn standing over the woman here, and then this bad guy from hell, Mammon, shows up, and he tells Plague Spawn that he doesn't need her as a host. She'll, it says, burn out as fast as the others. You need a more permanent solution, given how unique you are. You really do live up to your name, Plague. So Mammon takes control of Plague Spawn, says he's going to be his pet now. And then he tells Plague Spawn to basically go out into the world and discover yourself. And then Spawn is on a rooftop, and he's met by Jessica Priest, She-Spawn, but she's not talking, and he thinks that she's just giving him the silent treatment. He says, I'm not in the mood right now, so what do you want? But then he kind of at the last second realizes it's not really her, it's actually Plague Spawn, just disguising himself. And he gets the jump on Spawn here. And to end the issue, it says, in this case, Spawn would also be breaking the one rule all those wearing the symbiote costume swore to. Hellspawn, do not kill Hellspawn. And that's kind of how it ends, with him seemingly killing Plague after this battle here. But it sort of just ends. It doesn't really feel like the end of the book, but it is. And I swear we've seen Hellspawns kill other Hellspawns before, so nothing too shocking about that. Overall, I mean, there's not really much of a theme or story to this issue. It's just a bunch of aftermath to the big giant battle that was going on previously in Spawn. And honestly, the newest issue of Spawn is kind of dealing with the same thing. But if you've been reading Spawn or The Scorched, I would say definitely pick up King Spawn, because everything that is going on in this book has bled right out of Spawn and Scorched, no pun intended. But if you haven't been reading Spawn or Scorched or any of the Spawn books or anything, there's really no reason to go and pick this book up. You're not going to be too interested in anything that's going on, to be honest. It's a lot of kind of just aftermath and setup. So, which seems to be kind of what you get half the time in a Spawn comic. But awesome cover, though. I absolutely love this cover. I love the colors on here by Ivan Nunez again. This was a $4.99 book. Here's the cover to issue 51, coming out next month. So thanks again for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Are you reading any of the Spawn comics here in the year 2025? And thanks for watching. Go read comics.